Okay, guys, we're gonna be playing Emio the Smiling Man. We are on chapter 3, I believe. Chat, remember this is gonna be on YouTube, so say hello to YouTube because they're gonna see the chat. They are gonna see the chat. I don't know if it's gonna give me a review of all the things that have happened. If not, I am gonna be giving it to you, so you won't miss anything. Eisuke Sakaki, age 15, was found dead with a paper bag with a smiley face drawn on it over his head. The scene was similar to those of unsolved murders from 18 years ago, as well as the urban legend of the Smiling Man. After spending the day investigating the history of the Kuse siblings, you arrived at the office the next morning as usual. I should answer my phone. Oh, the phone is ringing apparently. Yes, hello. Hey, Akira, late night for you yesterday? It was, yeah, but I learned quite a bit. Oh, really? I love to hear all about it. That's great, because I can't wait to tell you all about it. Where are you? Oh, sorry, I'm actually... Huh? I'm actually supposed to meet with Mr. Fukuyama this afternoon. Oh no, the jealousy. Mr. Fukuyama? Oh, right. He said that he talked to some more kids at the school, so I'm hoping he's come up with something promising. Maybe a lead. I'm getting my hopes up. Yeah, I hear you. What are you going to investigate today? I think I'll go to the library at Chiefs and look up how they covered those murders 18 years ago. Sounds good. Stay safe. Bye. Thanks, Ayumi. You stay safe too. Oh, and say hello to Mr. Fukuyama for... Oh, she hung up. Oh no. Okay, let's travel. I'd like to head in and start investigating as soon as possible, but I probably ought to have a plan. The murders were 18 years ago, so I'm sure I have to do some digging. I guess I'm gonna think. It doesn't make sense to dive in without a plan. Yes, that's right. I should check with Mr. Utsugi to see if he has any advice. It sure is nice to have a cell phone. Phone contacts. Let's see. We're finally using our freaking cell phone. We've had this thing for so long and he never charged it. Akira, how can I help you? So, I'm about to go into the library to see what I can find about the cases from 18 years ago. But I thought I checked with you first to see if you had any advice for researching or anything to avoid. Let's see. Well, look for serial girl murders, since that's what it was called, and pay close attention to the first case. You'll want to learn how the incident was reported and how the news covered the story that year. Then, once you've gone over that material, you'll want to review your notes to see what jumps out. If something seems off, I'd recommend focusing in on that key point and investigate further. I think you'll find a lot of connections between the events of 18 years ago by the time you're done. I strongly believe that Makoto's disappearance is related to the murders, and I wouldn't be surprised if the information you uncover helps us get to the bottom of the Sakaki case as well. That makes sense. Thank you, sir. I also have a strong suspicion that the urban legend of Emio the Smiling Man will play into all. At least, that's my current assumption as I investigate. In any case, I must apologize for leaving the office frequently unattended. It's no problem at all, sir. Ayumi and I can take care of things. Thank you. I'm fortunate to have such an excellent assistant. I'm counting on you both. Thank you, sir. I'll be off now. Okay, so we need to pay close attention to the first case, apparently, and the way it was covered. And of course to our notes. Let's see, I'm guessing newspaper archives will be the best source for information, and older cases. When there was no internet, this is how you had to investigate. I have a year's worth of papers from 18 years ago to get started on. They're heavy. Anyway, I'll stop whining for now and check them out. Can I... How do I check them out to be this one? The date on this article about the case is... I found it. A 17-year-old named Ayaka Hashisume was found on the beach at Kofuku City, strangled. Her house had burnt down just the day before, and her father's body was found in the... What? Initial reports suggest that the father might have killed her and then himself. Later reports pointed to the possibility that the third party may have killed both a father and child. Also, the article mentions a missing person who was reported to be close to the girl. But there's nothing at all in this article about police finding a paper bag on the head of the victim. What caused the fire, and why wasn't Ayaka's father able to escape? And what about that missing person? There are a lot of missing pieces in this first case for sure. Let me just check this one really quick. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I thought it had a little bit more. Must be arson. An arsonist? I've got a year's worth of newspaper clipping. Let's look through them. Okay, never mind. Never freaking mind. Let me look at this one then. March and April. There were occasional follow-ups articles after the February crime, but not much coverage overall. There isn't any new information that can help me. I am hungry. It looks like the second murder took place in May, about 3 months after the first. For now, let's dive into the details about the second case. Here we go. The victim was a 15-year-old girl named Sashiko Tagaki. Because the second victim was also a young girl who was strangled in Kofuku City, the police announced early on that both crimes might have been committed by the same person. Still, they never did mention the detail about the paper bag. According to the neighbor of the second victim, the young girl in question came from a troubled home and was often seen crying alone at night. The possibility of a serial killer seems to have sparked more newspaper coverage at the time. The third incident happened in June, which is the last one. Still, despite all the ink spilled, I'm not seeing many details that might help me actually solve the case. So it's only... Let me reread this one and see if it says something different. Oh, there you go. The third victim was Mika Inoue, a 17-year-old girl, another teen girl, just like the first two. She reportedly had a falling out with friends that day and left her school in tears. However, it seems she didn't go straight home. Instead, she must have been attacked. The third victim was also from Kofuku City and was strangled in the same way as the first two victims. The article just mentioned the possibility of all three cases being connected by a common killer. Let's see what they say about the paper bag. Still no mention of it. Yeah, no mention of the paper bag. Well, I think about it. I wonder if there's an article on Makoto disappearance. I believe Makoto disappeared in July. Is there anything on Makoto? Here we go. Just a snippet of an article. 14-year-old boy reported missing from Yukariko village. Everyone in the village searched through the night, but the boy remains missing. Although the timing was curious, no one suggested a connection to the serial girl's murders. That said, both Mr. Tsuji and Inspector Kamada seem to suspect there was a connection. I've got to get to the bottom of this. Here's what I've learned so far. The police announced that the serial girl murders were most likely committed by a single killer. Although it was never mentioned, each of the victims was found with a paper bag on their heads. With that information, it seems obvious. Anyway, after the second murder, the first case came right back into the spotlight. And while media interest in the serial killer murders remained high for a while, it tapered off around August, probably because there were no new leads or information. Also no new victims, thankfully, if you don't count Makoto's disappearance. Now, why is that? I read a lot about the murders from 18 years ago, but now focused on some key parts. I think the first case is critical to the investigation. Mr. Tsuji thinks so too, as he told me to focus on it. Should I just keep thinking? Let's do a little more digging on the first case. The first case. I see. Do you see the murderer? Do you know who it is? Do you have any suspects so far, guys, from all the people that we've known? We have this... I don't know if it's just me or maybe it's just that I don't like the teacher. I really don't like the teacher and I don't like how he reacts when we mentioned Megumi. I don't know. I just don't like the teacher for some reason. But maybe that is just me. Maybe that is just me. The teacher is super sus. Maybe Makoto was killed and hidden somewhere. Or he's the killer and has a twisted mind. But he was very young when this happened. He was still a kid. The first case did really catch my attention and the most curious of the three. It's the most curious of the three. I should investigate it a bit more thoroughly. The victim in the first case was Ayaka Hashisume, a 17-year-old girl. She was found the morning of February 16th in the secluded beach area of Kufuku City. A local fisherman found the body. He had an airtight alibi and was immediately ruled out as a suspect. Forensic reported the cause of death as strangulation with bare hands. Time of death was the night before. It turns out that Ayaka had quit her job at a local factory the same day she died. She was 17 and she was working at a factory? For a 17-year-old girl, I imagine her working a part-time job at a store or something like that. Not at a freaking factory, but I guess that's just me. Okay. However, her supervisor at the factory reported that she left on good terms and had already given notice. All of that said, I have a few major concerns with the fact of the case. They relate to two key people involved who had connections to Ayaka. One of the key figures was Manabu Hashisume, Ayaka's father. He and Ayaka lived together in Kufuku City. However, their house was destroyed in a fire the night before Ayaka was found dead, and a body was recovered in the ruins. It was believed to be Ayaka's father, so it was believed. I don't know for sure. Some speculated that the father could have killed Ayaka before returning home and killing himself. However, that theory didn't necessarily hold up to scrutiny. And what's more, the second and third murders of a few months later further complicated the situation. Because even if Ayaka's father was guilty, he died in the fire. He couldn't have killed the others. Last but not least, the information about the paper bag was never made public, which strongly implies that all of the victims were killed by the same person. Could it have been the other key person? The other key person in this case never had their name reported by the media. The person in question was a young man who was often seen with Ayaka before her death. He hasn't been seen since she died. And when his apartment was searched, the police found a disturbing amount of blood. Obviously, the police strongly suspected him and went to great lengths to track him down, but he was never found. This must have been the same person that Inspector Kamada was talking about. It's entirely possible that Ayaka's murder and the home fire were unrelated, especially considering that all of the victims were young girls of about the same age. The house fire falls outside the category, and the persistence of the paperbacks points to a serial killer. I wonder if the police had the same idea. I can't find any articles speculating along those lines, however. Let's review the information I've gathered so far. The first murder was 18 years ago, and the first victim was a girl named Ayaka Hashisume. At the time of the first case, there were two persons of interest. The first one was... well, the father. The first one was Manabu Hashisume, Ayaka's father. If they didn't have the same last name, I would never know. The second one was the missing man. A man who was presumed missing. At the beginning, some speculated that Ayaka's father was a killer in a murder-suicide situation. The day before Ayaka's body was found, the father died in a fire, I guess. It feels so weird to type my answers like this. Yes, that's right. The father was presumably killed by the fire that burned down his house. Regarding the missing man, was he another victim or could he have been the killer? It seems as though the police consider both possibilities. He disappeared the same day that Ayaka was killed. There was a disturbing amount of blood found in his house. If I had a keyboard for my Switch. His home was drenched in a massive amount of blood. Inspector Kamada said that it would have taken devastating injuries to produce that much blood. So it's possible that he simply died. But who killed him? Alright, I think I made good progress today. I think that's about all that I can determine from my research so far. I'm glad I talked to Mr. Itsuji first. His advice helped me find the right path. But ultimately, the serial murders remained unsolved. The police never found any conclusive evidence. Is there still a suspect out there that was never identified in the previous investigation? Or shoot, let me think. Now that I think more about the second and third victims, there was a common factor I hadn't considered. They were both seen crying before they were killed. A girl crying. It's a legend. In the urban legend about the smiling man, he always appears in a paper bag in front of a crying girl. I wonder if the first victim, Ayaka Hashisume, was also crying before she was killed. If there was cause to suspect her father killed her, maybe there was some deep trouble at home. Oh, it's getting late and I haven't eaten. I should take care of myself. He remembers to eat. Does it happen to you guys that you sometimes just forget to eat? I remember when I like puzzles. I really like puzzles. When I'm working on those puzzles, I always forget to freaking eat. I get so into them that I just forget to freaking eat. Thanks for reaching out again so quickly. Of course, Tachibana. We're not strangers, right? I'm always here to help. Well, I really appreciate it. It's great to have a senpai like you. Oh, I do what I can. I'd sure like to think of myself as a good senpai. As you know, I'm deeply troubled by Eisuke's murder. That's why I'm so eager to help you. If that allows me to guide you, just like back then, so be it. But I'm just one man trying to help. Well, thank you for your cooperation, Fukuyama. I guess we ask? I want to be respectful of your time. So let's get right to it. Do you have some new info? I'm guessing that you do, since you're taking time out of your busy schedule. Yes. Well, I know you're busy too, so I'll make it quick. So the thing you've got to remember is, they're junior high kids. It's a sensitive time. They're still growing, which means they're not as strong as adults. This whole incident is a shock to their system in ways we can't even fathom. You know what I'm saying, right, Tachibana? Yeah, I think so. It's like the kids seem normal at first glance, but in their hearts, I know they're carrying a deep hurt. It's almost like I can hear their soul screaming out. It feels like the students are all over the place. Some act out in my classes, and others, well, others have been laughing at me, as if they don't take me seriously. But I'm sure it's just the stress of this whole thing that's affecting them. Poor kids. I just feel terrible for them. For them all. My heart breaks every time I think about it. I see. So, Tachibana, that's why I can't ask any of them about the case just yet. Then why? Why did you call me? Why did you call me here? Why? Why? Explain it to me. What am I doing here if you're not gonna talk about that? Wait, you don't have any new information from the students after all? That's right. Jeez. No wonder you're a detective, Tachibana. Why are they like this? Why are they like this? Just explain it. Explain it to me. I don't understand. So what am I here to talk about exactly? Why are we here? Losing our time. Tachibana, your milk tea is getting cold. That's okay. It's better cold. Please go ahead and enjoy it. We can... Tachibana, just think of this as a little break. But I don't want to break. Listen, Tachibana. Junior high is like a battlefield. And as a teacher, I'm like some kind of majestic knowledge warrior. What is this guy talking about? What is this? I turn to this milk tea in times of stress and fatigue, and this gives me peace of mind. Can I leave? I feel like he just wants to have a date with Ayumi, and that's why we're here. Here's what I've learned about Eisuke. He had a lot of good friends, he got a good grades, and he had a great reputation among teachers. He was never in trouble, really, a model student. Yeah, that's the same thing that all the students have told me. I never heard about him having a conflict with anyone. No one held a grudge against him. Not that us teachers know everything about our students' personal lives, but I think most teachers would agree that Eisuke was well liked. Oh, you'd be surprised, sir. Eisuke was an exemplary student. Okay. Observations. I suppose I did hear one story that caught my attention. Chisme! Chisme. Tell me the story. Eisuke's homeroom teacher mentioned something that piqued my curiosity. Here's what Eisuke's homeroom teacher said. Apparently, Eisuke's grades had been as good as usual lately. Oh, I thought his grades were impeccable. Well, he was applying to a selective private high school. You need to top marks and he wasn't there. Great. Eisuke's homeroom teacher said that he should consider other schools if his grades don't improve, but Eisuke didn't seem concerned at all. Really? A good student who suddenly doesn't care about getting into a good school? That's interesting. Yeah, well, junior high kids can be a bit unpredictable, can they? It's one of the challenges we face as teachers, of course. It must be tough to do what you do. Oh, it is, but teaching is my calling. Okay, sir. Teachers are not unlike priests who might say, yes, when I was in my 3rd year of middle school, one teacher said, is he changing the subject? Excuse me, but do you have any other info about Eisuke other than his grades? Let me think. No, that about covers it, so can I leave? I don't have any other information that's relevant on the case. Sorry, Tachibana. So can I leave? Can I go home? It's okay. Thank you. Can I leave? It doesn't sound like students' grades have anything to do with the case. So is he gonna say anything else? I can't imagine his low grades would have caused anyone to want to kill him. Unless he killed himself. But that's not what the police are saying happened, right? That's right. I can't share many details, but I can confirm that we are investigating a murder. Well, whatever happened, poor Eisuke is gone forever. That's the hand we've been dealt. There's nothing we can do but accept it and move forward. So Tachibana, yes? How's the investigation going overall? As you know, Eisuke's murder has shaken me to my core. So I'm desperate to hear if you've made any progress. Please, can you share any details with me? It's because I don't like this. I really don't like the fact that he's so... Why is he like this? Why is he pressing on this? Why does he want details? According to him, he was not his teacher. He was not his homeroom teacher either. He barely even knew him. He just knows what other people say. So why is he like this? What is going on? That's not too much to ask, is it, Tachibana? We cannot share details. Well, I'm afraid I don't have good news. We haven't made much progress. The thing about Eisuke, he's just such a normal kid. Like you said before, he didn't have any obvious problems or drama. And yet... it's just that on the same day he was killed, he was supposedly acting strangely. Is that right? Yeah, of course. His family is still in shock. They have no idea what might have been going on. Fukuyama? Oh, I'm sorry. I was just lost in thought. Thank you for sharing, Tachibana. I'll do whatever I can to help. Let's keep talking, shall we? No, if you don't have anything to say about this, I just want to go home. Fukuyama's a bit awkward, but I do think his feelings for his students are... Okay, if she trusts him, I guess I have to trust him. It seems he is doing the best he can, and he's shared everything he knows about Eisuke. Still, there was another student who was good friends with Eisuke in Fukuyama's class. I'm thinking of Megumi Morimoto. I wonder if she's back at school. She was absent following the murder. Okay, let's ask about that. Fukuyama, about Megumi Morimoto. What do you want to know about Megumi? I don't know anything, Tachibana. See? He keeps reacting like that. I'm just wondering if she's okay, you know, because she's been absent since the murder. Well, like you said, Megumi has been absent, so I wouldn't know. I see, that's worrisome, isn't it? Yes, I'm very worried. Something is happening here. Is that all we have to say about Eisuke? Yes, I want to know about Megumi. Well, you said earlier that there's nothing more to share. Did you know that Megumi is my class representative? I can't remember if I told you that. So he knows her. It must be challenging for you to not have her there, since she's the class representative and all. Yes, it's been extremely stressful. Extremely stressful. The day that they announced Eisuke's death to students, Megumi was not there. And she hasn't been back since. She was close with Eisuke, so it must have been a terrible shock. I'm worried about her. Really impressing me as a detective, Tachibana. Oh, really? Okay, nothing important. Let's keep pressing about Megumi. Okay, never mind. Let's think. Megumi's continued absence is worrying. Can we go to the house of this Megumi person? That morning assembly on the day Eisuke's body was found seems key. Of course, that's when they told the students what happened. But Fukuyama is saying that Megumi wasn't at school that day. Did he really mean that? Or did he speak? Yes, what's up, Tachibana? You said that Megumi has been absent since before the morning assembly, right? Yes, that's right. That's why I haven't seen her for days, Tachibana. But students learned about Eisuke's death on the same day he was found, right? So her absence didn't have anything to do with Eisuke, at least that day's absence, right? Was there some other reason she was gone? Yes, I see. You really are a sharp detective now, Tachibana. But I'm not sure. Tell me! Worried about Megumi's continued absence and about how strangely Fukuyama is acting. And then I'll examine his face. Sometimes this works. Why does he tighten up when we talk about Megumi? He did this the other day too. What are you looking at? Oh. Fukuyama. Yes, ma'am. I have a strange feeling that something is off. Anytime I bring up Megumi, you seem to tighten up and get anxious. Am I wrong? Is that what it seems like? No, that's not it. I don't feel that way. What do you mean you don't feel that way? About Megumi again. Did she somehow know about Eisuke's death before the morning assembly? If so, it would mean Megumi killed Eisuke. It would mean Megumi knows the killer. Well, this is a little bit too much. We are going for the second one. Was Eisuke killed by someone Megumi knew? It's a pretty big leap to assume that at this point. I shouldn't rule out any possibility. Mr. Tsuji is always warning us to consider everything. But what's the most likely reason she knew about Eisuke's death? Could it have something to do with Fukuyama? Sir, what did you do? Fukuyama. Yes? You must have told Megumi about Eisuke before the rest of the class, since she's a representative. But unfortunately, telling her first isolated her from the others, leaving her alone to face the cruel reality. And she must have taken it very hard. That's probably why she hasn't come back to school since. And you're probably feeling guilty about it. Am I right about any of this? No. I would never do something so selfish. First of all, we teachers didn't know about Eisuke's death until the moment before the assembly. It would have been impossible to let her know in advance. I see. I'm sorry for speculating like that. It's alright, Tachibana. That's what being a detective is all about, isn't it? Asking questions and speculating. Just like I was meant to be a teacher, you were meant to be a detective, Tachibana. Thank you. But are you gonna say... We're back to square one. He's refusing to say anything. So then, why do you think Megumi would have been absent the day of that morning assembly? Oh, she was out sick. Her family had called... So, okay, hold on. So he's been acting up, acting like somebody died. I mean, somebody did die, but you know what I mean. Because he knew that she was sick? What? No. She was out sick. Her family had called that morning letting me know. But I see. But then why are you acting up like that? That's really what it was, Tachibana. I wonder if her family was telling the truth. Since you're Megumi's homeroom teacher, have you checked up on her since she's been out? No, I'm afraid I haven't. It's difficult for me to visit her at her house. Why? Pressing. I just hope Megumi comes back to school soon. She's in my thoughts. It's gotten so late. Time flies when you're having a good conversation, right, Tachibana? I wouldn't call this a good conversation, but... Anyway, I hate to leave now, but I'm afraid that my students are waiting for me. What? No, class is over. It's like probably 8 p.m. I'm sure you could chat all day long. You could chat all day long, but... I'll have to get going. My apologies. I understand. Let's get going. I found out nothing. No information at all, people. This was a mistake. And as time goes by, and feelings are less raw, I'm sure I'll have conversations about what happened. I could certainly imagine one of them providing information that helps unravel the mystery. You mean, like the real reason Megumi hasn't been coming to school? Yeah, that too. It's cause... I wanna know about Megumi and he's not saying anything! Yeah, that too. You have to understand, Tachibana. I want to do anything I can for Eisuke, so then tell me about Megumi. And if it helps you out as well, that's even better. Thank you, Fukuyama. You can always count on me. I'll be in touch, okay? Yes, that would be great. Have a safe trip home, Tachibana. Well, he rushed off, full of excitement. Good old Fukuyama, he really hasn't changed. Always makes me laugh. Still, I can't get over the way he looked when I brought up Megumi. I have to get to the bottom of it. To rage. I don't trust. See, it's just like we don't trust. We cannot trust this guy. I'm back, Akira. Welcome back, Ayumi. Can I get you something to drink? On the way here, I stopped and picked up a few cans of milk tea. Oh, more milk tea. This is a new brand. You like milk tea, don't you? Yeah, it's just, I'm fine for now, but thanks. Anyway, tell me about how things went yesterday. Sure, let me see. I told Ayumi everything I learned about the Kusa siblings and their history. Wow, I didn't realize they had a history like that. What else did you learn? Did you get any more details about the case from 18 years ago? Yes, I looked up tons of articles about the serial girl murders at the library. I was able to confirm that the victims being found with paper bags on their heads was never reported. However, after a lot of digging, I've identified a few aspects of the first case that have me puzzled. For instance, there were two persons of interest that were mentioned, but one of them is dead and the other is missing. Oh. One was the victim's father, who died in a house fire the day before his daughter's body was found. The second was a young man who was friends with the victim. He disappeared, leaving only bloodstains. While we don't know to what extent either of them was involved, we can't rule out the possibility that one of them killed Ayaka. Could this missing man have been the killer? Or could it have been someone else who happened to target girls of a similar age? Either scenario seems plausible. Well, one way or another, we still have 3 victims, including Ayaka Hashisume, who were found with bags on their heads. It's got to be the work of the same killer. Remember that this was a high-profile case that the police failed to solve despite all their efforts. So it wouldn't be easy getting to the bottom of it, but maybe the key is the connection between the case, Eisuke Sakaki, and the legend of Emio the Smiling Man. Speaking of that, I did find a common link between the older murders and the urban legend. In both the second and third murders, the victims were seen crying shortly before they were killed. Just like in the Smiling Man legend, maybe there really is a connection. Well, let's stay focused and keep after it, okay? Absolutely. I do wonder if the disappearance of Makoto Kuse is also related. I guess it's our job to find out. Well, I had a good long chat with Fukuyama. Oh, and how did it go? Well, among other things, he mentioned that Eisuke's grades had slipped lately. Is that so? Yeah, it even sounds like he might have had a hard time getting into the private high school he wanted. But he also said that Eisuke himself didn't seem particularly troubled by it. Lie back, people. I'm an old lady. I'm sorry. Also, Fukuyama was squirrely about talking to other students. He's only spoken with teachers so far. And I think that's about it. Oh, wait. There's one other thing about Eisuke's friend. I'm talking about Megumi. Anyway, apparently she's been absent from school for a while now. In fact, she hasn't been to school since the day that Eisuke died. But it's strange, because the teachers and students learned about his death that morning. So you're saying she was already absent that day, but for other reasons? That's right. I thought maybe someone could have told her about the situation in advance. But it doesn't seem particularly likely. Maybe she was actually just sick. Yeah, maybe. I'm curious. Let's review what we've learned today, Akira. Good idea, let's do it. Everything is so weird. I feel like we're just getting a bunch, like way too many questions, and not a single question from our side has been answered. What is it? Hey, what's up? You're just not gonna say anything? What's wrong with Ayumi? If I look... Looks like she's thinking about something. Ayumi? Oh, sorry, what is it? It just seems like you were spacing out there for a second. Something on your mind? There's something about Megumi Morimoto that I've been wondering about. Oh, what is it? It's been bugging me for a while now, but whenever her name comes up when I'm talking to Fukuyama, he tightens up and gets anxious. I wonder if he's hiding something. I can't tell. I asked him directly a number of times, but his answers feel a bit evasive. A bit evasive. Just a bit. If only we could talk to Megumi in person. By the way, do you have any plans tomorrow? I think I'm going back to the library. This time I want to do some research on urban legends. Okay, sounds good. As for me, I guess I might just need to wait for more information about Eisuke and Megumi from Mr. Fukuyama. But I'll think about it some more. Good idea, thanks. Chapter 5, The Paper Bag. Ooh. Let's head to the library and see what we can learn about urban legends. I know Mr. Atsuji is also looking into this angle, but I'm hoping to learn more about the Smiling Men. I saw a book titled A Modern Ghost Legends at the library, but maybe there's a one all about urban legends. Hey, boy detective. Huh? Is that... I'm out. Detective Kamihara, what are you doing here? Are you gonna give us information? You're gonna give us information. Please get out of the way. Sir! Just show up to me with a sad face. That means nothing. It means nothing to me. Detective Kuse has requested your presence. What? Really? Me? I'm afraid I'm going to need you to come with me. I'm going to jail, people. Finally. Did that feel like we were in a TV show? I play the hard-boiled detective that part perfectly this week. I guess. Anyway, I think I could be an actor if this whole detective thing doesn't work out, right? I am a handsome devil. You say so. Maybe I shouldn't say that about myself, but I just did. Maybe you should be more concerned about the whole detective thing working out. Hey, what's up with you anyway, boy detective? Are you tired of something? In fact, yes, I am. How did you know? Was it the face? Was it the eye bags? Nothing like that. I was just thinking about how energetic you always are. Right, that's me. Come on, get in, let's go. We gotta move. Detective Kuse is waiting for you. What does Detective Kuse want with me anyway? I am hungry, I am tired, I am cold. Tell me something interesting. Cheesemate! Nothing wrong worth mentioning, so just to warn you, Kuse did not seem like she was in a particularly great mood. Does that sound familiar? Maybe if I ask again. Yes, she's usually not in a great mood. That's what I was thinking. Detective Kuse couldn't have known that I went to see her childhood home and her grandmother. I just remember something. The guy that helped us, the guy that gave us the eggplants, it was him. He probably said something. You got a weird look on your face. What did you do? Nothing? Oh sure, now you put on the poker face. If you really did something and she found out, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes, boy detective. I'm shaking just thinking about it. Can it really be that bad? Don't be too nervous. You must know somehow. Okay, maybe we're just being paranoid. Picture this. Kami, go pick up Akira Tsukasa. You know what happened if you don't, right? What am I supposed to say to that? Other than, okay, I'm on it. Yeah, I can imagine. My impression was good. That's not what I meant. Anyway, good luck. Hey, I could wish you the same. I set you up for that and you nailed it, boy detective. My flawless impression aside, finally, I have to say that Detective Kuse is at least as hard on herself as she is on everyone else. But it's also part of why she's such a good detective. Take it from me, she's 10 times harder on me than she is on anyone else except herself. Detective Kamihara. I guess you know Detective Kuse pretty well since you're partners. Sure, I know her well. I know exactly what she's going to get mad at me about before it happens. Probably because I'm completely useless, so it's like her job to give me a hard time. Completely useless? Your words. I mean, I believe them. No, just kidding. We're kind. We're trying to be kind. We're trying to be a better person. There was this one thing she was really pissed about. I mean, that was life or death. So, life or death? What happened? It's nothing. I'm just mumbling to myself. Nothing to worry about, boy detective. Just talking to myself. I do seem to remember hearing something about some kind of mistake he made. What was it? Oh yeah, Inspector Kamada told me that Detective Kamihara is a terrible shot. I can see why Detective Kusa is so hard on him. Gonna be tough to have a partner who can't shoot. What's that? Are you laughing at something? No, it's nothing. Okay, weirdo. Boy detective. Let's ask again. So Detective Kuse ordered you to pick me up today, and she's always tough on herself and everyone else. Yeah, that's right. As soon as I set foot in the station, she ordered me to come and get you. I didn't even get to eat breakfast. I was really hoping for a coffee and a pastry. I mean, you can get a coffee and like a freaking thing and drink it while you're driving. Why did I tell you that? It's so embarrassing. Come on, it's not that funny, boy detective. Ugh, there goes my stomach rolling again. Perfect timing. Thanks, stomach. Still no breakfast in my future. And made me think. His stomach is out of control. That is so mean. That is so very mean. I can't believe she'd made me do this when I'm starving and I haven't had breakfast. What if Kuse could hear you say that? Why do you think she wiretapped the car? Don't tell her, please, boy detective. He's hilarious. I mean, I'm okay with this conversation, but I want to go to the point. I want to know what's happening. I need to know. I need to get off this car. Listen, I know I've complained about Kuse a bit, but she's got a gentle side somewhere. Is that so? Under that extremely harsh exterior? Yeah. Let's ask observations. You got plans somewhere else, boy detective? I was headed to the library for research. Sorry. I'd love to let you out of there, but I don't think Kuse would like it based on the look on her face. The library is pretty far. How were you planning on getting there? I was just going to walk, but... Walk? Really? Boy detective just loved walking. Is that it? Well, I don't have money for a card. I'm sorry. Why didn't you call a cab? Because I don't have money. Surely your boss would pay for it, right? I mean, cabs are expensive. Just calling one up costs money, let alone going anywhere. Imagine having a cell phone and being too stingy to pay the bill. Listen, I thought the office would cover it, but whatever. Look, forget the phone bill. Just call cabs. Speaking of calling, last time I wanted to call a cab, my cell phone battery was dead. Of course, the cab came anyway. Why did that cab? Yeah, bus called and said I had a fare out waiting at this bus stop. I almost forgot. What is it? What did you almost forget? I have to thank you, Detective Kamihara, for calling that cab for me the other day. Calling a cab for you, huh? Was it not him? It was the ghost. Yeah, remember when I ran into you by the bus stop near the crime scene. Crime scene. The crime scene, yeah. Oh, that. Yeah, I bet you were surprised. Yes, that's it. Anyway, it was really helpful. So thank you. Well, here's another surprise. I didn't call the cab. Detective Kuse did. Really? The same Detective Kuse? Yeah, see, I told you she has a soft spot. Well, how about that? You were right, Dice. What's that? Dice is your hero? Just kidding. This guy, why is he like this? Definitely not what I said. Anyway, I'll need to remember to thank Detective Kuse later. How long is this freaking ride? By the way, how do you like riddles, boy detective? I like them a lot, actually. Great. Then get ready for the senpai quiz. Detective Kuse, my senpai, arranged a cab for the boy detective, but when did she make the arrangements? A. After I left the bus stop, or B. While we were still talking at the bus stop. The clock's running. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. This is a tough one. After you left, while we were still talking. While we were still talking at the bus stop. Ding ding ding. Well done. How observant of you, boy detective. I actually missed it because my back was turned. It's all for now, senpai. The senpai quiz completed. Are we there yet? The more I hear about the two of them, the more it sounds like Kuse and Kamihara are polar opposites. I wonder what they talk about when they're alone. That was not my intention. Bruh, are we there yet? So what kind of stuff do you and Kuse talk about when you're like on a stakeout? You really want to know? What? Yeah, of course. It's cheese may. Of course I want to know. Do I? I was just making conversation. No, we want to know. We like cheese may. Don't lie to yourself. Prove it. How badly do you want to know? Well, now that you're acting like this, I really want to know, kinda. Alright. I suppose I have no choice but to spill my guts to the boy detective. So what we actually talk about is... none of your freaking business. My chisme, gone. Now I'm actually dying to hear what they talk about. Come on, boy detective. Surely you know you've got to butter someone up to extract their secrets. Maybe we can stop at the freaking 7-Eleven and you can get something to eat. This is some odd detective work, but I guess I need to butter him up. This is a job I signed up for, so here goes nothing. Maybe I should start with a message or something. Oh man, take. Oh, a massage. Did he say a massage? It was massage. It's kind of weird. We're gonna freaking crash. What are you doing, boy detective? It's called his shoulder massage. But why? You said I should butter you up. Oh my god, and this is what you thought I meant? I like the enthusiasm, and normally I'd be all over it. But that's not what I need right now. No, I was sure it would work. This guy. Maybe I can rephrase. I meant make me feel better about myself. And never attempt a shoulder massage when someone's driving. The BL moment. All engaged, maybe? If it isn't the most handsome detective on the force, dies Kamihara. The BL is strong. The BL is way too strong. I cannot. Oh my goodness. Thought I'd get a better reaction than that. Oh, you're messing with me, aren't you, boy detective? Hey, I'll take it. I am handsome. Is it really that easy? Well, since you're so nice, I suppose I'll bestow my infinite wisdom upon you. So he's gonna talk? Detective Kusa and I usually just stick to talking about ongoing cases and investigations. I humiliated myself with the massage for this. But hey, we do chit-chat every now and then. I'm trying to imagine a casual conversation with Detective Kusa. Yeah, right? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? You're wondering what Kusa and I talk about when we shoot the breeze? I don't know, it's don't be late again, and you drink too much, and don't bring your gun, Kami. That sort of stuff. We call that chatting or scolding. Was there anything else? You know, he's starting to remind me of Heikichi. Don't tell me he's Detective Kamihara's grandfather or something. I guess Detective Kusa's small talk isn't really that small. It's pretty serious usually. But you can always leave it to me, Dice, to lighten the mood of any conversation. How will you do that? Oh, it's easy. I'll be like, that place has great coffee, or this is the candy I loved as a kid, and so on. I have a hard time believing that these topics work to lighten up Detective Kusa. Are we there yet? Detective Kusa likes that kind of small talk. Oh, sure, and she loves snacks. Not just talking about them, but eating them. She's even been like, well, if it's so good, why did you go buy me some right now? So of course I gotta do it, right? Wouldn't you, I guess? I wish I had that power over people when it comes to food, right? Just bring me food, people. Bring me freaking food! She's got him grabbed around her fingers, but I bet he welcomes a break from her intensity. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Talking about food just made me all hungry again. We'll stop at the 7-Eleven. I want to see the 7-Eleven. This is so cool. So the other day I bought some candy and there was a prize inside. Detective Kusa was there, so you know I'm not making it up. I was like, can I get another? Whoa, he's like a child. I know that what you're thinking. Yeah, I was happy to get a prize as a child, and I'm happy to get one now. Also, I'm pretty sure Kusa was obsessed with the same sweets when she was a little girl. Oh, it's nice to hear that she's got a more human side to her. Also, if they were both talking about their childhoods, I wonder what kinds of things they discussed from when they were little. Maybe he even heard something about Makoto. Finally, something new. Detective Kamihara, do you know anything about Kusa's brother? He's been missing for 18 years. What? Oh. So he knows something. Detective? That question seems to have shaken him up. So he knows something. Actually, you know what? One time Kuse and I talked about what we wanted to be when we grew up. Like when we were kids. Stop it! Why are you changing the topic? Of course, she turned out to be an absolute lethal detective. I'm kidding, but her answer was surprising. She wanted to be a florist. Cute, right? Oh. What about you, boy detective? Did you always want to be a boy detective? Me, I've always been into cars. Really, anything with wheels that drives fast, I wanted to be a driver. That's why I have a license for literally everything now. You know, cars, commercial trucks, motorcycles. I even have my marine license. I see. Motorcycle license. Oops. Here we are. Finally, we made it after 1 hour. We're here. The longest ride of my life. Here we are. Detective Kuse is waiting in the room at the end of the hallway there. Great, thank you. Don't worry, she doesn't bite, usually. Good luck, boy detective. See ya. Dang, he left before I could ask a follow-up question about motorcycles. And I didn't get an answer about Makoto. But that look he gave when I asked, it tells me something. I guess I also failed to ask about Isuka's case even though we spent all that time together. But he said before that he couldn't really talk about the investigation. That makes sense. So he probably wouldn't have told me much anyway. Well, let's go see Detective Kuse. Hello, Detective Kuse. Why is she so beautiful? She's so damn beautiful, Jesus Christ. Hello, sorry to call you out of the blue. She seems more tense than ever. No, it's okay. So I guess we're gonna ask and listen. I hope you don't mind if we start with a few questions. What are you snooping around for anyway? Damn, she went straight to my throat. So you know that I went to Yugariko village. Okay, I'll explain. Let me ask you first. Your brother Makoto has been missing for 18 years, is that right? And around that time, there was a series of murders of young girls which could be related to Eisuke's case. That's why I went to go see your grandmother. I knew it. I know it was a bit sneaky. I apologize. No, I don't blame you. You're just doing your job. I feel bad for putting that kind of burden on your grandmother. I'm really sorry about that. Observations? Listen, my grandmother said that she was happy to talk to you. Oh, that's great to hear. Should I think? I guess we keep asking and listening. One thing I was wondering, how did you find out where my grandmother lives now? Oh, well, the first place I went was your childhood home. My childhood home? Right, and I made a neighbor, Mr. Tayama, who was very helpful. He told me that she had moved to the relaxed Yugariko village retirement home. Good old Mr. Tayama. He gave me eggplants. Do you want some? I have too many. That's all I wanted to ask. Sorry for the trouble. Listen, I did not drive with that guy for like an hour for you to just like tell me this. No, you're gonna keep talking. We are gonna keep talking. Mem? No, lady, no. I thought she was going to ask how I found her childhood home. Why didn't she ask about that? That's it. That's it? Yeah. No! Alright. Jusa remembered that Mr. Itsuji has been to her house before, so she probably assumed that he told me where she lived. But I don't think so. I haven't worked with any PIs before. I remember her denying that she ever met Mr. Itsuji. Why would she do that? Has she genuinely forgotten, or I guess I should take this opportunity to ask her about it, even though it makes me nervous. We're talking. Detective Kuse, could I ask you a question? Mr. Utsuji told me where your childhood home is, so I went and checked it out. Anyway, he said that he met you 18 years ago at that location. But you... Like I said before, I don't know Mr. Utsuji. She angry. That's all there is to it. Whoa, the look on Detective Kuse's face. It's like she just stiffened up. Can we keep asking questions? Is it just my imagination? Look. Feels like she's trying to keep a level head, but based on her response, I think she's lying about not remembering Mr. Utsuji's visit. So the day that Makoto disappeared, Kusa returned home alone, and according to Mr. Utsuji, she seemed terrified. There's something about that still bothers me. I don't know if she's willing to say more, but I should at least ask her about Makoto. Detective. Yes? If you don't mind, I have a few questions about your brother Makoto. I don't mind. What you got from my grandmother is all you're going to get. I'm not open to reminiscing. So enough about me and my brother, got it? But it's important. I figured, but it was worth a shot. What to do? She doesn't seem like she's in the mood to answer any questions. I might have to leave without any of the answers I need. I should probably get going. Sorry, but I thought of one more question for you. Oh, yes? Did you find any useful information about the Sakaki case? Why, is the investigation not going well on your side? Sorry, it's confidential. I can say anything more, but she asks me, and I have to answer. So I understand that it doesn't seem fair, but it might help if you share anything you found with me. Or if I don't want to. I suppose part of our job is helping the police, I guess. One of my colleagues is researching more about Eisuke's history and relationships right now. And as for my findings, I have an eyewitness who saw a motorcycle parked near the crime scene on the night of the murder. Really, a motorcycle? Are the police aware of the motorcycle? No, first I'm hearing of it. The eyewitness account places it about an hour after the estimated time of death, so possibly irrelevant. Can we keep talking about it? Where did you get this information? I talked to a cab driver at the scene. He was the eyewitness. He said that lots of riders stopped to go to do their business. He said that a lot of riders park on the side of the road at night for reasons. Got it, thanks. Of course, I hope it's helpful. I didn't realize the police didn't know about the motorcycle. I bet they'll question the cabbie now. Oh, I've got an idea. I could try thanking her for calling the cab for me. A cab. Hey, so... Yes? You're the one who called the cab for me, aren't you? How did you know? Well, I just wanted to say thanks. It was a big help. It was nothing. Don't thank me. So that's it, huh? Not other info? Is that... In that case, let's both get back to work. Right. It's not giving me the option to leave, so... Detective Kuse's mood seemed to have changed. Can I ask something else? Well, she looks sad now, I guess. Looks kind of uneasy, almost like she's embarrassed about something. I know she's got a scary reputation, but I think Detective Kamihara is right. Deep down, she's a vulnerable, outward person like the rest of us. What the hell happened? I got results from forensics on that paper bag. Please let me know the chisme. I am here. Please, I want to hear. Finally some clues. Something. Inspector Kamada gave me special permission to see the results of the forensic analysis on the paper bag. This is the actual bag that was found on Eisuke. It's even creepier to see in real life. Let's get started, shall we? Of course. I'll get straight to the results of the analysis. The bag in question is clearly old, but after running a detailed scan, we can confirm that the material is a perfect match with the paper bags found in the serial girl murders. What does that mean? Are we dealing with the same killer from 18 years ago? It seems likely that some of the same people would be involved. I think you're right. Well, it sounds like we need to officially reopen those cases. Sir, before you continue, I have one additional finding to share. The paper bag found on Eisuke. We can confirm it's the same type as the ones found on the second and third victims 18 years ago, not the first one. However, the paper bag found on the very first victim 18 years ago doesn't match any of the other bags. Oh my goodness. More questions than answers. How can you be so sure? Well, not all paper bags are made the same way, believe it or not. Each manufacturer uses a different formula. The variation can be quite substantial. Thank you for the report. Are you ready to share the results with the whole department? Yes, sir. As for you, I apologize, but I need you to wait here for a moment. We have an important meeting. I understand. So we have two killers. It's a possibility. So it turned out that the forensic analysis of the paper bag revealed a new clue. And Inspector Kamada is meeting with his team to review the findings. It might take a while.
Later.
It seems like they're still in discussion. I think it's a good idea to continue reviewing what Kamihara and Kuse have told me. I should take some time to organize my thoughts and findings from today. When Kamihara is alone with Kuse and they're not talking about an active case, he said they sometimes have friendly chats. For example, they talk about candy that they loved when they were little kids. They talk about their favorite animals when they were little kids, of course. Candy. They talk about candy. Okay. They've been known to talk about their childhoods. Maybe they've talked about Makoto. He seemed to brush me off when I asked about it. But what I did learn is Kamihara is licensed to drive cars, commercial vehicles, boats, and... How the heck do you spell motorcycle? Please, a friendly reminder that English is not my first language, okay? Thank you very much, Mammoth. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness. Ah, it's here. There you go. He had his license to drive cars, commercial vehicles, boats, and motorcycles. That's right. Kami had his license to drive motorcycles. But aren't all police officers licensed to drive motorcycles? That was my impression. I wonder if there's anything I can deduce from my conversation with Detective Kuse. I don't know. I just think it's kind of weird that they made emphasis on the fact that he is licensed to drive motorcycles. But I don't know. I don't know. Tsukasa, I'm sorry for keeping you waiting. Okay, let's talk. So have you decided on a plan? Yes, we're going to proceed based on a new hypothesis. But unfortunately, I can't share it with you at this time. I apologize for the tough circumstances. It's okay, I understand. This case is anything but straightforward, and it can be tough to accept guidance from HQ. Anyway, that's a big part of why we need your help. We're counting on you. Yes, sir, I'll do my best. I need to get back to HQ now. Apologizes again for keeping you waiting. Oh, and I know Kuse called you here, but she and Kamihara are already both back in the field. They left me here. They made me come all this way and they left me here. I see, that's okay. It was very helpful to talk to the both of them. I suppose I should get going. Of course, be careful out there, and see you soon. Am I just gonna go walking? There's one last thing. There's someone I'd like you to look into. A certain man. A certain man? Same day, 2:21 p.m. The San-in region. San-in. I'm here in the San-in region. There's someone here who might hold the key to this case. Why are you digging into this ancient history, huh? You some kind of reporter or something? Wait, you're that guy from the magazine, right? No. No, I'm just a curious person. You sure about that? You strike me as some kind of reporter or journalist. No, I assure you, I'm just an amateur with too much time on his hand. Fair enough. I'll stop praying. Anyway. It's no problem, but thanks for chatting. I'll be on my way now. Hope you write a good article. Just kidding. So the day after the forensic report on the bag was completed, the police released some details to the public about the murder of Eisuke Sakaki. However, while they mentioned that he was found with a bag on his head, they didn't mention the smiley face. I'm sure that detail was too lurid for the general public, but still. It seems the urban legend of a smiling paper bag or wearing murder is roaring back to life. People are talking about Emio, the smiling man, at water coolers all around the city. It's been 3 days since the police released a statement. We're now seeing an impact in the city. Maybe I should just shout for the smiling man himself. Who knows? Maybe he showed up. Just kidding. A sensational story spreads like wildfire, doesn't it? But who are we going to? Occasionally I hear a car drive by. Who is the man we're supposed to look into? I want to know. There's no one in particular to pull over. Nothing in particular to concern here. Nothing in particular. Heard that all the books about urban legends have been flying off the shelves lately. Oh, I just noticed. Can you see them? Yeah, you can see them even with my camera there. Even the pharmacy mascots are wearing paper bags. What the hell? This is a freaking murder situation here. Why are cancel? Freaking cancel. What in the world? Why would you put that on your mascot? Like, excuse me. Look, the 7-Eleven. Same old convenience store, regardless of the smiling man mania that's going on. It's comforting in a way. Someone's calling me. It's Ayumi. Hey Ayumi, what's wrong? There's a segment on a TV show I'm watching now about urban legends. I bet it's about the smiling man. Oh, well, I'm almost back to the office. I'll see you soon, okay? Okay, be careful. Welcome back. Check this out. Fascinating. He's the one who supposedly wears a strange paper bag, right? The rumor going around is that he placed similar bags on the children he killed. We put together a recreation of what those bags might have looked like for you. Let's take a look, shall we? What? What? What was that image? With the weird guy with the... It's really creepy, and some of them are so small. Oh dear. Well, there's a rumor going around. What is this? Around about a child version of the Smiling Man as well. A child? My goodness. That's the paper bag that I gave to Emiko. Who is Emiko? What's happening? Of course, the etymology, or whatever you say that, of the Smiling Man is fascinating as well, sometimes known as Emio. Who the heck is this? That was Professor and urban legend researcher Toru Osawa. Thank you very much, Professor. That was creepy. Yeah. But I understand why people are fascinated. It must feel like the Smiling Man urban legend is coming to life with Eisuke's murder. Did they mention Eisuke specifically on the talk show? Yeah, just before you got here, they said a young boy was killed in Kufuku City. I see. So anyone who knew Eisuke would know they're talking about him. Right. Well, in that case, maybe someone who knew him will come forward with some new info. Oh shoot. I wonder if we'll see any new witness come forward with the new information. Maybe at her face? Sometimes work. It didn't work this time. Observations. I just can't believe how much attention this case is getting. But I guess the Emio legend, the Smiling Man, is pretty famous. True. But when a real person is involved, like poor Eisuke Sakaki, Yeah, it's sad. I'm worried about Megumi with all of this going on. Everyone's talking about the smiling man. And she's just devastated about losing a close friend. Yeah, losing a friend, what a nightmare. I was not gonna use my phone, I'm sorry. I wonder if all of this reminds Ayumi of Yoko. When I started talking about how Megumi must feel, it seems like she must have a thought about it. Maybe we shouldn't have watched that show. Too late, too late. She probably doesn't want to talk about it. Well, we can talk about something else. I want to cheer Ayume up somehow. It probably doesn't. Oh my goodness. Oh, I think I need to call her. Let me see. Hey, Ayumi. I know we're still missing a lot of pieces, but let's put our heads together and see what we can figure out. You know, for Eisuke and for Megumi. Yeah, you're right. Let's do our best for them. Great, so let's review what we've learned so far. So late. Can you help me? Yes, of course. Before we start, Akira, I want to say thank you. Thank me for what? We haven't even started our review yet. Give me a chance to be brilliant, okay? Review. First, the cause of death in the Eisuke Sakaki case was asphyxiation from being strangled with a cord-like object. Right. Eisuke was found with a that had a smiley face drawn on its covering his head. A paper bag. I guess I'm gonna have to type the whole thing. Oh, okay. I think it's gonna be here. Paper bag on his head with a face drawn on it. Maybe the real smiling men were the friends we made along the way. Additionally, there's an urban legend that strangely mirrors the case. That urban legend is known as the Smiling Men. It's usually called Emio, the Smiling Men. Of course, the urban legend isn't the only strange similarity in this case. There were a number of similar cases 18 years ago. Those were known as... wait, what? I think it's on others. I guess not. Let me see if it's on this one. The serial girl murders. I cannot say it. That's right, the serial girls are murders. In the serial girl murders, they were 3 female victims. They were Ayaka, I guess I need to select all 3. Well, I cannot select all 3. Maybe I have to select them like this, and then... Which one's the other one? There you go. Ayaka Hashisume, Sashiko Tagaki, and Mika Inoue, all teenage girls. Around the time of the serial girl's murder, there were also 2 significant missing persons. The missing persons were Ah. No, not right. There was a missing man and Makoto Kuse, Detective Kuse's brother. Oh yeah, the other one died. I'm sorry, my bad. Oh, we got it right. Doesn't matter. Regarding the victim, Eisuke Sakaki, he didn't seem to have any enemies that wished to do him harm. But he did have a problem, and that problem was getting into a good high school. Are we talking about the boy? I think we're talking about the boy. Getting into a good high school. That's right. His grades were sleeping. Last but not least, we got the forensic reports about the paper bag found on Eisuke's head. That paper bag was matched to the first bags found in their murders 18 years ago. Matched to the second and third. Okay, this one. Bag matched the second and third bags found in the murder 18 years ago. There was something notable about the first paper bag found 18 years ago. It was bag that there was no smiley face drawn on it. It was found with the killer's fingerprints. It was different from the paper bags found on the other victims. That's right. The first paper bag was different, and the second and third bags matched each other. Putting all the information together, here are my thoughts about hearing the forensic reports on the bag. Since the bag found on Eisuke matched the second and third bags found 18 years ago, we should assume that those cases must be connected. Yeah, I think you're right. Here's my theory about why the first bag doesn't match the others in the serial girl's murders. The killer in the first case had to be someone else. It's possible. Interesting theory. Seems like you were a little rusty today, but you shook it off. I just had one mistake. Thanks, yeah, I'll try harder tomorrow. So let's talk about where we go from here. I'd like to do some more investigation into the case of the missing man from 18 years ago. You mean the one who was seemingly badly injured? He's still missing, right? That's right. Inspector Kamada asked me to look into him. Frankly, I'm not even sure where to begin, but I know Kama is counting on me. You get to use a nickname for him now. Are you close friends with him like Mr. Tsuji is? In a seriousness, it's a tough assignment. I don't even know the man's name yet. Really? Yeah, Inspector Kamada seemed busy at the time. He asked me to come back later for more details. Is there something wrong? Well, I'm sorry, but Inspector Kamada isn't right now. He's having a hard time at the moment. He's still out for the whole day? Yes, I'm sorry you came all this way. I haven't actually been able to catch Inspector Kamada in person since the day we got the paper bag results. I've been down to the station several times. And he wasn't there? No, I haven't seen him, and when I asked around at the station, everyone kind of shrugs. That's concerning. Maybe he's just super busy with the investigation. Yeah, I guess I'm getting a bit angsty. I can help him if I can see him. Anyway, I'll give him a little space for now and use this time to get my files in order. I should make some coffee while I'm at it. Do you want some? How would you like it? Actually, I'm on my way out. Oh, could you be going to? It's not like it's a big secret. I was about to tell you before you started acting weird. The suspense is killing me. I'm going to Megumi Morimoto's house for a chat. Oh, wait, what? If nothing else, and maybe my presence can offer her a little comfort. Oh, that sounds good. Oh, I'm just relieved that Megumi is feeling well enough to talk to you. Well, I'm actually going to talk to her mom first. I don't think Megumi is ready to talk yet. That makes sense. It seems like she's been struggling for a long time. I mean, I'll definitely try to check in on her as well. Anyway, I'm off. Megumi Morimoto, a good friend of Eisuke, has been absent from school since his death. She was at home when the other students learned what had happened. That's everything Fukuyama knew. I'm here to see if I can find out more. I'd love to talk to Megumi myself, but that's likely going to prove difficult. I'm Ayumi Tachibana. I called the other day. Oh, Miss Tachibana, of course. Hello. I was surprised to hear from a private detective. Is now a good time? I don't want to inconvenience you. It's no problem at all. I just hope I can be of some help to you. Thank you so much. Your help is appreciated. And I really wanted to see the Megumi thingy, but we're gonna leave it here. Thank you very much for joining, guys. Have a beautiful night and a beautiful day tomorrow. We're gonna be playing Pokemon. Have a beautiful night and a beautiful day tomorrow, guys. Join me on the raid. Thank you so much. But thank you very much. Have a beautiful night and see you all tomorrow. Bye.